Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Finishing Line podcast. And we're here at Cheltenham December meeting this week, a week closer to Christmas, more importantly. 4 days of grade ones coming out of our arses. Can't wait. But for that, gentlemen, how are we doing? It's bloody freezing, but I hope you're warm in Dublin in your lovely castle there, Shawnee, and you, Tom, in your Pimlico Palace.
Yeah, no, it is. It's kicking around. It's nearly there now. I have to say it's a busy season for myself, but looking forward to the Christmas, and hopefully everything stops next Friday or Monday, wherever day you finish up and work and the countdown to Christmas begins. I'll be flat out on the laptop, not for college work, and anyways, I'll be going through the form book like mad, trying to pick out a couple of winners over the Christmas. A few days out in Leopardstown, hopefully touch wood.
Tom, you've had a busy few days on the race course. You've had Pimlico horses running left, right, and centre, running well.
Yeah, we had with Zurich and passed around. Zurich, his first run for us, his first start since we claimed him last December, and he ran an absolute belter. Really, really happy with him. Got a bit tired turning in, but jumped fantastic. He'd be right up there with that's probably one of the best jumping performances on a debut I've seen anyway. Even when he was wrong, he was quick at them, and it kind of goes unnoticed because he didn't win then, but. No, fantastic! Absolutely delighted with him.
His run went very noticed.
I know he was always going to get tired. It was a case of when he got tired. But I actually thought Brian gave him a fantastic ride. It's obviously is probably sometimes tempting to go and get after them to try and get second or third when there's no chance of winning, but. No, he looked after him well. He got tired there turning in, and he even jumped the last two pretty well when he was out on his legs nearly. So looking forward to him. We'll see where we go next. But yeah, we'll stick chasing. He looks a lovely horse.
Was that his first run over? Was that his first run over fences?
Yeah, so he's only had 3 runs before this, 2 runs in bumpers and 1 run over hurdles. But because he won his first start over hurdles, which was his last run. Because of that, he would have had to find a conditions race over hurdles. So he's a big chaser. So he said, let's go chasing. So that's actually only his second run over obstacles in his life. So to go and do that against a bunch of seasoned horses who are rated in the 130s was very, very nice. I was very, very happy with that.
So that's a crying shame with this new rules that coming in for Cheltenham.
Yeah, he's probably not. Nah, he's probably not.
Because it seemed like the old, you've invested in a Pimlico handbrake.
Not at all. No, he was there. God, he traded it 2-1 in running on the bend, and I was just half a second. I thought, oh, I wonder what'll happen here. But no, he ran very well. Pastoral didn't run so well. She took a good blow, and she was a bit sore this morning, so she should be fine. But yeah. Below par efforts, but there's a couple of reasons why. So I'm not worried about her just yet. She'll take a big step forward, I'm sure, to her second start. We bought another one as well, Andrew.
Shock! It's Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. If you're looking for any stocking
he bought a horse for 155k at Goffs today. Marie's Rock.
Not quite. We're staying away from that breeding game, Sean. But no, we bought. We claimed another one in Lyon there the other night. So she's on her way up over to Ireland. So yeah, she'll be launched in the next few days, I think. Just waiting on some photos and videos of her. But she's super exciting. 3-year-old filly rated 70 on the flat that stays very, very, very well. Big girl as well. Bred to go hurdling. So yeah, really looking forward to her.
Very, very good. Right. We will kick on now and we'll have a quick look back what happened last weekend. We start with Navan, should I say, and Jasmine DeVoe. Sean, I'll start with you. Willie Mullins fan club. You surely can see this fella needs to brush up on his jumping and probably needs a big, massive step up in trip.
Yeah, I wasn't taking it at all, and I couldn't believe the sort of prices he was cutting half after the race. But yeah, he didn't look a natural over his hurdles to say the least, and it didn't improve, which worried me. Like a horse is a bit scrappy early on and sort of gets it together at the end of the race, then you can see he's learning on the job. But he just didn't look a natural over them, and like I know he's gone down. He's a decent bumper horse, and he's gone and went away after the last and beat the enabler. The enabler, I don't know what to make of the enabler. Like you have to be beating him, but you need to be beating a bit easier than that, in my opinion, because he's just a bit of a dog. I think he stepped up the 3 miles the last day and didn't run that. But Jasmine DeVoe, his hurdling not great. He definitely could not go down the Supreme route if he's going that way. He has to go up and trip, and I don't even think he get away with that sort of jumping in a Ballymore. So. Like, I don't know what's going to happen now. You'd have to judge him the next day, but I wasn't impressed at all. I do see them definitely going up and trip, but that jumping has to even get better if he wants to be going to Ballymore. Because if it doesn't, he could end up in the Spud race.
Tom, what do you make of it?
Yeah, like Sean says, it was hard to be impressed with that, was it? For all he went and won a few lengths. In fairness to him, he can go and brush it up, and we can see the next time. I'm not going to write him off just yet, but I think everyone said it even after the champion bumper. He's not the biggest horse in the world, and it just kind of looked like, is that one who's going to go on or not? Clearly stays there he was, so he could go up and trip, but I think the jumping is more the issue than the engine and the trip, to be honest.
All right, next, Tom, go back to you with the yellow clay. Third run in quick succession. He wasn't the most impressive. Didn't look like he was going to win, bar when he got up at the line. A horse who looks like now he's screaming out for a step up or trip, or was that just pure out and out tiredness on 3 runs?
Yeah, look, he's had 3 quick runs. He's basically had 3 runs in about 5 weeks or so. But if you look at the Fleur in the Park form, like he beat Fleur in the Park 12 lengths at Navan very, very well. My only thing that I could come down to on this was maybe the ground. I actually think he wants better ground. I was thinking then it kind of makes sense. Maybe that's why Gordon's got him out good and early, got a few runs into him. If you look at his bumper form as well, all really pretty much on better ground, and his hurdle starts, and it was soft there at Navan on Saturday. So, yeah, I would put it down to the ground, to be honest. I'd give him another chance. I'm actually quite happy if people are going to write him off. I'm keeping him up my sleeve. Just because he wasn't that impressive, but I think he's shown before, like he's a lot better than Fleur in the Park. So
yeah,
don't rule him off.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it was just 3 runs back to back. May have just told at the end, look, that's just 3 runs under his belt. They have a lot of options if they want to run another 2 times. They could tempt with the Martin Pipe, depending on what mark he'll probably end up with. But look, on the back of that, you could easily step him up and trip. But look, he's definitely one that will be there or thereabouts at the festival. Sean, what do you make of him?
Yeah, look, I thought it was probably the 3rd run in quick succession. Now, he did have to dig deep, and you like to see a horse that never looks like winning get his head just in front of the line. It's sort of a good sign, but I would say it was probably the case of backing up. Maybe he's a bit harder on himself than they thought, like I know he won very comfortably the last day, but maybe he took a little bit more out of him than they thought. But in my opinion, going forward, I'd say he's probably a Bartlett horse. Like, you look at the horses that Gordon runs in this race, he sort of can go on to like a Lawler's and Ace and then step up and trip. And I wouldn't be at all shocked if this lad ends up in Albert Bartlett going forward.
Very good. Last one we'll touch on at Navan, Tom, is Il Atlantique. He's a horse that divides opinion. One who I didn't think would be able to do what he done on Saturday. Very good jumping performance, led from the front, never looked in trouble, put the bed to raise very quickly. Is he going on to bigger and better things now that he's facing the fence?
Yeah, I think he can. This wasn't a bad race. You'd Waterford Whispers, who was punted off the boards all afternoon, really, in behind, and good land for the old good people in behind him. Then, yeah, look, he was very good. I was very impressed with him. Paul said he rode like a bigger, stronger horse this year. He was disappointing last year, but he was fancied everywhere he went. Like he went off 9-2 behind Ballyburn, a 6-4 favourite for that Nace Grade 1. He still only went off 5-2 for an entry Grade 1. Chasing could be the make of him. He was wearing a tongue tie for the first time. I think that could be very, very interesting with him. So yeah, I'm keen to follow him going into the winter period. Well, the Christmas period, but probably more after Christmas now with him. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. Does he go up to an RSA? Where do they go with him? I think that'll be very interesting. But maybe he could even be one for the novice handicap. From what I've seen, the novice handicap is an open handicap, so it'll be interesting to see how trainers treat that. Are they going to risk a highly rated one in it anyway and give weight away? Yeah.
True. Sean, what do you make of it? For me, he was last season, he kind of had the reputation of a bridal merchant. Will be interesting to see what he does now if he goes up in grade.
Yeah, look, he's not a horse that, as you just touched on there last season. He done similar on debut last year. He went and bolted up in a maiden hurdle, and he sort of got his own way out in front, and he jumped very well. Let's not take that away from him. He jumped very well over fences, and Tom touched on maybe it could be the tongue tie that helped him keep going. But I'd just be worried about him against proper Grade 1 horses, when he steps up now. When he didn't get it his own way, he chucked it in, and I just don't think he's a horse that's going to win a battle. I've never seen him win a battle as of yet, and I'm one that I will keep taking on until I see him go down to the last or another and out battle him. That's my only thing going forward with him. Look, where's he going next? I don't think they'll spin out to Christmas, will they? Christmas might be a bit close to go down to Limerick, but he could see him drop back down and trip. I thought, for one, if you went and let him go on a 2-mile race, I'd say he could be interesting. I wouldn't be going up and trip to 3 miles with him. I thought maybe, if anything, coming back down and just letting him go off the front over 2 miles. I know he didn't do it last year. He kept him over the intermediate trips. But now that there's no turners at Cheltenham, I'd be interested to see if they do drop back down to 2 miles.
Very good. Right, we'll quickly touch on the Arkle picture in the Champion Chase. Sandown last week, we had Ludasoy beat Touch Me Not, who left the biggest hole you'll see. In a fence, walked through it, didn't lift the leg, and still managed to only finish just off Ludasoy. Sean, go back to you. What was your take on Ludasoy first off, and would you mark up Touch Me Not's performance there?
Yeah, load of sud. I'd say got the job done. I thought he'd do better, to be honest with you. Like, you touched on the mistake. There's no way Touch Me Not should be making a mistake like that and getting as close as he did in the end to load of sud if he was a proper Grade 1 Arkle contender. I think if a horse makes a mistake like that, you have to put them to bed and give them a right bashing. I know he got time to fill up and stuff, but I thought he would have done it a bit better. Now, look, I know the ground was deep and it's sand down on soft ground. He's jumping just... It wasn't as good as it was at Cheltenham, and it could be the ground. But also, when he got into a battle and had to jump two down the straight, I really didn't like it at all. Now, he's getting high, and he wasn't as slick and neat as he was at Cheltenham. But as I said, it could be the ground. But I wasn't blown away, and I think he's one. If Touch Me Not didn't make that mistake, you'd have to ask yourself, like, that gap could have been easily closed. And I don't think Touch Me Not will be up there at the top of an Arkle, sorry. I wouldn't have him in the first 3 myself. I think a lot better horses that'll come over from Ireland. I just thought he had to go and beat him better than that. After making that mistake, I thought Lotus would have had to put him a better away. But I will touch on down memory lane. That's twice now on bad ground. He's just not gone a yard and not liked it at all. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they maybe stay away from bad ground now and maybe bring him back for another run or two, or maybe the back end of the season. I wouldn't give up hope on him just yet. I think the ground is key to him.
Yeah, he's a horse that really took the eye in the end. He's definitely one not to give up on. Tom, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, a lot the same as Sean, really. Look, the one thing I would say is this is about as far different as you're going to get from Cheltenham on better ground than an Arkle. So I kind of got that in the back of my head, and loads of sort of shown he goes around Cheltenham, but I just think there's going to be something there to beat him. I could see him being in the first 3 on the day, but I just feel there's going to be 1 or 2 better than him. Jumped grand, but again, I kind of want to kind of want to forgive him that because it's on heavy ground at Sandown. So it's hard, really. It's hard to weigh up for me. I've just got the inkling with that horse all through the season now so far that there's going to be something to go and beat him.
Yeah, and I would agree. Right, lastly, we'll do consecutively. John Bon won the Tingle Creek on Saturday, and then Energumene came out on Sunday and won the Healy Way. Would he have won if Banbridge didn't fall? We don't know. But Shaw or Tom, we go back to you. John Bon, look, his best performances are clearly at Sandown, and he more or less underperforms when he goes to Cheltenham, and I can't have him have a 5-2 favourite for a champion chase. First off, what's your take on John Bon on Saturday and his prospects for the champion chase?
Yeah, look, I thought it was very good. We had two folders in the race, so it took those two out of it, Edward Stone and Master Chewy. But yeah, look, Willixios is no bad horse, and neither is JPR1, and they chased him home, but he's just probably a stone better than those, isn't he? Fantastic horse. Like his win and place record is unbelievable. Literally never been out of the two. Won 16 out of 19, third the other three times, second the other three times. So he's absolutely fantastic that way. I do agree that whatever happens when he goes to Cheltenham, it doesn't seem to click for him. I don't think. I can't pinpoint what that is either, because there shouldn't really be any reason for it, I don't think. But yeah, if he's 5-2, as you say, Andrew, I'd look elsewhere. I'd take him on. I'd take him on at that price with something else for the champion chase.
In regard to Energumene, then, first off, it was a good run on his comeback. Would he have won if Banbridge jumped the last? I know he's getting a lot of weight from Banbridge, but he's kind of at the age bracket where you kind of want to be avoiding him in the other stage of it when it comes to the champion chase.
Yes, I think he would have beaten Banbridge. But as you said, Banbridge would have been close enough to him. No, I know that's probably not bad ground for Banbridge there at Cork there at the weekend, but he's getting £6 off of Banbridge. He won well, but again, he's going to be 11 coming into a champion chase. I just feel you've got to take him on. I don't know. Like his Gaelic Warrior, he's probably going to stick down that route. I'd say. I know they're keeping all options open, but at the minute, if I could back, if I knew Gaelic Warrior was going to run there and I could back him against John Bon and Energumene, I'd be backing him.
I think Energumene only becomes really interesting in the champion chase if the ground comes up heavy on the day.
Yeah, because he'll handle it, in fairness, won't he? So, yeah.
Sean, same to you. First, John Bon, what did you make of him Sunday?
Yeah, I thought he was good. As you touched on, Sandown's track going right-handed. You had your heart in your mouth at the second fence. Now, I don't know what's going on there, but any Nicky Henderson horse that seems to jump that ditch just goes bananas at it. But he then went and took the bull with the horns and went and forced the pace. And I think that's when he is at his best. He goes and jumps, and Nico gets a good tune out of him out in front, and he put them away readily, didn't he? Like, he didn't half beat them. Like, he done what I thought he would do to the likes of Eclixios and JPR1, and where I think he should be down. In terms of Energumene, I thought he was good. He went down by the sounds of it. He didn't plan on leading at all, but he was in right form, and he took himself to the lead, gone down to the first. And I thought he'd done everything right, to be honest with you. He made a mistake at the third last. Other than that, I don't think Banbridge was going to go back up and beat him. He went and took off outside the wings of the last there. I'd say there was plenty left under the bonnet. Now, in terms of where it is from Alden and Energumene, I'm not too sure. He was getting a lot of weight off Banbridge, and look, he's 2 years off the track nearly, and you had to take that into consideration as well. He pulled the weight, and Dino Blue is a good yardstick in terms of knowing she runs to her form nearly every race. So he's went and beat her well, so that give you hope. But I don't know. Look, he's probably going to go and take each other on the Clarence House around Ascot next. That'll tell you an awful lot. But I think John Bon's biggest danger at Cheltenham, I know you said if it comes up soft and Energumene, I don't think you could get it soft enough for a Gaelic Warrior. And I think that's, if the softer the ground is on the day, I think the more chance you see Gaelic Warrior running in the champion chase. You seen him last year around there in the Arkle on bad ground. He absolutely relished it, and I just think he'd beat John Bon around Cheltenham on bad ground.
Yeah, I think if he wins over Christmas time, I'd say he'll be up there giant favourite with John Bon. Right, that's last week touched on. We have 4 races to get through for this weekend's Cheltenham December meeting. We're going to start with Friday and at 12:40 over 2 miles, 4.5 furlong. The SSS Super Allies Novices Chase. A decent enough race on the looks of it. We have Colwell Potter on the back for his successful chase debut. It's in at 10 to 11 even money. Django Bay is 11 to 4. Springwell Bay is 6 to 1. We have Deafening Silence in at 15 to 2 and 150 to 1. The rest. Tommy, start with you. Colwell Potter, impressive on his chase debut. Jumped out to his left. Returned to this way of racing should suit him down to the ground.
Yeah, it should do. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing this. Django Bay is not a bad horse, and Springwell Bay is kind of is proving to be a little bit of a yardstick. But Colwell Potter, he's obviously got that form from last season, won a Grade 1, has made a nice enough chasing debut, and I think it's going to be Friday where we get to learn a little bit more about him. So it's exciting really. Django Bay is pitched in here on his chasing debut. Be interesting to see how he gets on, but I'd go with the chasing experience. For me, it's a no bet race, but I'm very interested to watch it.
Sean, what about you?
Yeah, I'd be the same as Tom. I thought Django Bay is he's a yardstick now for me in terms of he's guaranteed to run his race. Look, if you look at his form last season, it's just either first or second, and he runs his race every day, and he's a bit unlucky not to win our Aintree the last day either. But in terms of Caldwell, I thought it was a bit, I don't know whether it's just me or not. I'm shocked to see him being backed up so quick. He looked fresh and exuberant around Carlisle, and I just didn't think they'd be popping him back out here. The jumping out to the left was obviously a thing, but I know he's going left-handed here. I know that's a thing, but even at Leopardstown, when you watch him win, he was going out to the left of his hurdles and going left-handed. And I know obviously you're not giving away as much ground, but he was just something interesting to watch. He took a chance at 1 or 2, and I don't know if he'd get away with doing that around here. But you have Django Bay, he was solid over hurdles, and I think sets a good test. I thought maybe he's a bit short at 8 to 11. And Springwell Bay, I got my hands burned on him the last day. I think he's been stuck to the floor for the festival. Yeah. So I'd say be staying away from him now until March, because I don't think they have any interest in winning with him. So if it's forced to have a pick, it'd probably be Django Bay. Nothing too strong.
Yeah, I really like Colwell Potter. I didn't like him before he won his chase debut, but I really like how he jumped, how exuberant he was, how fast he was from one side to the other, even given he was going left-handed. He's at a price now I wouldn't dare touch him in a novice chase around Cheltenham. At this time of year, but I'd expect him to win. Django Bay first run of the season, pitched in here. He must be doing all the right things at home. He's bringing a solid grade form into it, and as you said, Sean, Springwell Bay is absolutely being cemented to the floor for the festival. Right, the next one we're moving on to is the 150 Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming soon handicap chase over 3 miles 2 furlongs. None of these will be finishing like fucking Sonic. Shanty Classico is carrying 12 stone, giving away 24 stone and upwards. 24 stone. He's giving away £24 to King Turgeon in a 3 to 1. Then there's Baddy Griffin Cottage in the 7s. The newest one is 7s, Java Point 15 to 2. Shambrat 16s and 20 bigger. Sean, this is more or less 2 horses that have been touted for the Beachers last week. Reroute here. One is 2 to 1, one's 3 to 1. One has to give away £24. If Shanty Classico goes and wins this off this mark and this weight, surely the Grand National dream goes out the window.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? That's the exact same way I'm thinking myself. You do have a couple of days rerouting from Aintree last week, but I don't know. I think you either take the opinion of you're going gun-ho on Shanty Classico or you're not. You're going to take a chance on something at an outside price, because I know he's a big weight, but I have no doubt if he was to run to merits, I think he'd beat this. But it's whether they're thinking of a Grand National or not is the thing. And at 15 to 8, he's not something I want to be backing now, just because they done similar at Kempton last year where he got a perfect ride not to win, and he done everything nicely. I just have a fear that they're going to do that again around here. And then you've King Turgeon. I don't know. quite what level he's up to. I know he's getting an awful lot of weight, but I just don't know if he's up to the level a couple of days. And I maybe looking down at maybe a Java Point or the newest one each way. It's not a race I want to be getting involved in, to be honest with you, because I can't decide whether Chianti Classico is going. I think he's either going to bolt up or he's just going to let him come home nicely, should I say?
Tom?
Yeah, I agree with Sean. I'm trying to find a bet against him, but it's very, very hard. I'm struggling, to be honest. That Ballygriffin Cottage, I just couldn't back him. King Turgeon has got his form in national fence races, so I'd steer away from him. The newest one, in fairness, is probably going to run his race. So if you were going to back one each way, I'd back him. I think Chambard wants it a bit. Chambard wants it a bit slower, wants off the ground. Java Point has its chance, but I'd take him on with the newest one. So I don't know if Our Power can spring a surprise on his reappearance off a long break. Hasn't got bad form in his run at Cheltenham there a couple of times. So maybe that's a possibility if the market spoke in his favour. But yeah, maybe the newest one each way, but it's hard enough, I think.
Yeah, I think I was looking at this race earlier. It's one I actually got to look into properly. There's going to be a lot of pace. Chianti Classico, the newest one, Java Point was up at the pace the last time when he was finished second in front of the newest one last time out. You have Our Power who could get on with it as well. King Turgeon likes to be up there, upper bouts behind the pace. But I think the weight that Chianti Classico has to give to King Turgeon, I think that's going to play a massive role in this race. Like King Turgeon, he was just a dare horse. There was nothing good about him. There was nothing great about him until he came back this season. He had a wind surgery in August before he came back, and he bolted up by over 10 lengths on his comeback at Chepstow. That was at 118. He went up to 125. Sorry, that was over 3 miles too. He went up to 2 mile 5, back down to 2 mile 5 for over the entry fences in the Grand Sefton. Managed to win that still. Looked like the further he's going to go, the further he's going to win by. Steps back up to 3 mile 2 today. The trip will be no problem whatsoever. If anything, it's going to be another plus for him. I think just the weight he's getting and the progression he's shown all of a sudden this season with David Pipe's horse is kind of running to a good enough level, majority of them. He could be one that's still well handicapped this season going forward. I think 3-1, he'd be the one I'd have a decent enough bet on, because like the likes of Ballygriffin Cottage has only won once over 10 starts over fence, and that was on the Chase debut. The newest one is probably the easy way angle into it. He loves it around here. He won first time of the season, was only beaten 2 lengths last time out, but he was about a length behind Java Point. Chambard needs the heavens to open for any chance for him to win this. He needs that for the ground to slow down the other horses more or less, and he just stays and stays and stays. Our Power is one horse I have never really taken it, and then you have the French horse whose form you can't really equate to what's going on over here. And even if you do look into it, the horse that he's been that beat him or getting well beaten the time after. So I think King Turgeon, I think 3-1. I'll have a decent enough bet on him. I think he'll win. Right, so that's Saturday. We are off to Sunday, and 150 again on Sunday at Cheltenham, and that is the December Gold Cup. Fugitives in 11-2, Madara 6-1, Galaws 8, Stage Stars 8, Il Redondo 10s, Jeremy is 12s, In Excelsior Deo, who loves falling, is 12s, and bigger the rest. Tom, again, these races are like ones that you like to pick up on a score one. Who are you going with in the December Gold Cup?
I'm going with 2. The one I'll give a shout out to first is Madara. I think he's off a nice weight. I think off 140 he could be competitive. Bolted up at the DRF off 133 and had won at the December meeting off 130 time before that. Is now with Dan Skelton. Had his first run for Dan in the Paddy Power. Finished a nice 4th, only being 7 lengths. I think he can take a step forward for that. I think 6-1, that's one I'll take at the top of the market. I'm not done with Ian Excelsius Deo. Andrew, you absolutely jinxed this horse for me, didn't you? I was having a flying day at Cheltenham. Andrew wasn't having the best today. It's normally the other way around.
Sorry.
And was stood next to him, Sean, and I said, I've backed in
All right, Tom. You don't need to remind me of all this, like.
And he goes, yeah, so have I. And I said, for fuck's sake. Next thing, there he was.
In fairness, now I did apologise before he even started running.
You did.
I did.
You did apologise, yeah. I should have cashed out my.
Late on the exchanges.
Second you said it, I was like, Tom, I'm at the back as well. You may as well cash out.
Absolutely no chance he gave me, but he actually, I didn't think he was jumping there too bad until he unseated. I think he needs every inch of that 2 mile 4. And yeah, I'm keen to give him another chance. I'll back him each way at 12-1, definitely. So if I was backing him, for that race, I'm backing him against a lot of the same horses here. So I'm going to back him again.
Sean, what's your take?
Yeah, look, I have a lot more interest in this. The top of the market, Fugitive. Fugitive is where he is, and he won this race last season. But when you see him at 5-1, you sort of say to yourself, "Oh, do I want to be back in Fugitive?" He had a lot go wrong the last day. Now he made a mess of the force fence, and then the one as they just swing around the bend, he sort of jumped and he was taken down a little bit. He lost his front legs, and came back up and came late. The only problem I had from him as well is he's a bit of a thinker. You look at him last season and he's rattling home, and all of a sudden he's getting into a dogfight with El Redondo, who had been out at top, and he barely went by at the line. But I can see why he's up the top of the market. But the one that I'd be siding with at the top there is Madara, definitely 100%. I think when you look back at him last season, he came over from France and he had a couple of runs over that distance. He's running over 2 miles, and in hindsight, now looking back, you'd say, yeah, Jesus, he's definitely going to stay the trip, and maybe going up we'll see improvement. And you go and watch his ride the last day under tenderly handling. He came home and it was like they were a fact-finding mission, also getting fitness in with a bigger day ahead. And I think this is the one. The money has come along from he's been back from 9-1 is he into 11-2, and I think around here he's form around Cheltenham. Harry Skelton's up this time and he's first choice. I think he must take plenty of beating. I think the last day, like you see him, he comes home late. He sort of goes out of the screen. You can't really see him, and he comes home with a rattle after being not pushed along too much coming down the hill. But he got dropped £1 for it. The handicap of down Skelton a favour. You don't see that too often.
No,
but,
Jesus, that's not like that to happen, is it?
No, not at all. He's got dropped £1 for being a nice man, and he comes in here, and I think he's going to run a big, massive race. He's a lovely weight. He's off 10 stone 6, and I think if once Harry doesn't see the fucking finish line at the third last, we should be all right.
Yes, done. Well done, sir. Good analysis of Harry Skelton. Well played. Yeah, look, I won't add much more to this. I like Madara as well. I agree with all the points the lad said. Drop £1. It's very much of an eye catcher in the Paddy Power, and yeah, he'll do for me. Last one we are going to touch on is the 3 o'clock, the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle, more or less a trial. We have Skyjack Hijack, who, if anyone hasn't seen him, go back and watch him. He's possibly the best jumper of a hurdle you will ever see. He is slick as they come. He's in the 9-4 on the back of a 7 timer. You have Clondon General at 7-2, Western Knight at 9-2, Ace of Spades at 6s, JetBlue 6s, 10s, bigger the rest. Sean, Skyjack Hijack, another step up in grade, but seems to be improving and improving and improving. Will this be a step too far?
Yeah. I just look, he's been going through the handicap ranks, but I just feel like when you step up in the graded company, this is where it stops now. And as you touched on, he's probably one of the best hurdlers you'd ever see, and running over them distances, you don't normally see someone as slick as him. It's normally just get the A and B over 2.5, 3 mile handicap hurdles. But this lad is going to go clip, but I just don't think they'll let him away. Look, they might, and they'd be silly to do it. And but I just don't think he'd get away from this. Look, it's not the greatest renewal, I won't lie to you. I don't think there's anything that's great. In a Clondon General, I'd be a bit worried if the ground comes back. Like, we've not got much rain, and I'd say this is probably going to be on the good to soft good side rather than good to soft on the soft side. And I think that might be against him a little bit. You've Ace of Spades. I didn't like him at all now the last day. Jump was a bit scruffy, and he just about got the job done. You've Western Knight at 4-1, but you jump down. I don't know if he's a runner. Excello, I think he's a big price compared to Western Knight. You've Excello in there, he's 10-1, and Western Knight at 4-1. They both faced each other the last day. He came over last season and he went over fences, and he was in handicap company mixing it, and he was pulled up at the Cheltenham Festival. But he came back at Ascot the last day, where he was only beaten ahead by Western Knight. I think we're a run under his belt now. Western Knight had a run going into that race when he beat him. We're a run under his belt at a 10-1. He just could be a little bit big. As I said, I don't know if it's a definite that he's running here. He's not jocked up, and I don't know why he's 10-1 and the other lad is 4-1, which is sort of telling me maybe he's not going to run. But if he does, I just think Excello's too big at that price.
Fair enough. Tom, what about you?
Yeah, I'd race this. I hate those horses like Skyjack, Hijack, because you just never know when they're going to improve. And I've often been caught out when they go and take a step up like this, and you're just like, oh, well, this is a step too far, and they won't win. And then they go and duly do the business. I would take experience here. I'd look for a horse of experience. I'd be against the Kim Bailey horse. I just think he's running against a lot of horses here who have multiple runs, and that might just catch him out. It's hard to know. The Ace of Spades, the Dan Skelton horse, obviously won at Cheltenham earlier in the season. Excello, as Sean says, ran very, very well in defeat at Ascot, and the price discrepancy is a bit too big. The one I'm going to go for is Jet Blue, the David Cotton horse for Caroline Tisdale. Now, he's only got this horse literally a couple of weeks ago, sold for 220 grand at Arcana on the 18th of November. But this horse had 14 runs in his life. He's had 4 starts over hurdles, 1 around Auteuil, was 2nd around Auteuil the last day before he was sold. Look, it's going to be a transition over to different obstacles and different way of running and stuff. But he's very, very, very consistent. He's 6-1. James Reevely takes the ride. He's rated 134. If you can take that literally, then that's going to put him as one of the highest rated here. So I think 6-1 is a very fair price about Jet Blue.
Very good. I am going to stick with Skyjack Hijack. I just think his hurdling technique is so fast that he's just going to gain lengths and gain lengths and gain lengths at all his obstacles. Like, he steps back up and trip again. The last time he stepped up to 3 miles, he won by 16 lengths, beating City Derby. He won by 12 lengths, beating Western Glen the time before that. He was at Zanabad the last time out. I was over 2 miles 6, and I was hurled at Newcastle. They had him beat a long way out. And then the same at Exeter, Captain Bellamy. I think he just goes a relentless pace up top. And if you make a mistake behind him, he's gone. The hurdling technique is just ridiculously good. And I think if he can keep that up and keep jumping the way he is, I think it'll take a massive performance from horses who, you said, Tom, have very little experience compared to a few of the rivals. And I know 9-4, it's not a great price right now. I reckon you'll get bigger on the day, so I won't even bother going near them just yet. But I reckon it'll take a good performance to beat him if he can keep going the way he is and jumping the way he has been. He's an electric jump that will just take lengths out of people, and it's something you just don't see over 3 miles. It's usually slow, cumbersome, gets made to be. This fella jumps like a 2-miler, a 2-mile champion hurdler horse. His technique is very much the likes of the Bouvardieres of the world. Not at that level, but his technique is at that level. So he is one I would definitely keep on the right side of, and I would put him up for this. Right, that's the last race done. We will finish up with our naps and next best. Sean.
Yeah, look, I'll give you a 3. I've actually 3 good horses. I'm going to have it. Yeah, I'm going to have 3 good bets this weekend. They all come on Saturday. The ones we touched on, I'd say Madara, I definitely can't see him out of places, and he's still in the each way prices there. He's in around 5-6-1. From the race we covered, he's definitely won each way. The second one is going to be in the last race at Cheltenham on Saturday, the Mares 2.5 mile handicap hurdle, and the horse I'm going to go with in here is Joy Use. She's off a mark of 119. I can't for the life of me figure out how they've got her down this low. I think she must have at least, if she doesn't end up at 125, 130 horse by the end of the season, I'd be dead shocked. I think she has a good couple of pounds to spare. She she one run last season beating Tutti Quanti, and then she had her comeback run at Ascot where she finished second in that good race that Celtic Dino, is that Dino Celtic?
Dino Celtic, yeah.
Yeah, and weighed out of Ollie Murphy. I think that's definitely a good line of form, and I think she'll have no problem stepping up to 2.5 miles. Probably benefit her if you see her the first day. It took her a long time to get going, and the last day she got going nicely. But I think Celtic Dino, she's a bit sharper than her, and the step up and trip. So she'd be my second best one, and then my third one comes in the 12:40 at Cheltenham, the 3 mile 1 furlong handicap novice chase, and it's Peaky Boy. I think this lad is going to take plenty of beating. I think he could be Henderson's RSA horse. I think a step up and trip from the last day. He's up £7 where he beat Wharton the Western in the Park, and he faces him here again. I think this lad stepped up and trip. He get around and he'll stay all day, and I think he's going to relish the step up and trip. So the 3 ones would be Madara each way, Joy Use, and Peaky Boy.
Very good. Tom?
Poor Joyce, because she's one of mine. I'd copped onto her as well. Sean, I think she's got a hell of a chance. And Madara as well. I'm going to back him. I think Joyce would be my next best. And then a couple I'm going to back are Madara, In Excelsis Dio, and JetBlue. And then my nap, you should have known this was coming, really. And now I've clicked off it. So
where's this going?
This is
Dundalk's on tonight. Dundalk's not on Saturday, is
it? No, better. And this is a GSI job for me. Proper. Go down paddies with a bit of cash on. Do a shop run. GSI.
We're off the Lingfield.
3:00 at Cheltenham on Friday. The Glenfarclas Crystal Cup.
Oh, the French fucking thing. Isn't
it? Jesus.
GSI, lads. GSI.
My God.
Tom loves the cross going.
It's fucking like Easy Land all over again.
It's not. But just to remind you about Easy Land, when we did back him and he did win. But
shush, so we don't need to remember that part.
Yeah. Forget that. Whatever you do.
I couldn't remember the other French joke you put up, so I had to say him.
I can't remember. Prengard, was that him?
Prengard,
that's the horse I was thinking of. Pringles himself.
Jesus. JP did some cash on that lad, I'd say. I don't think he was ever seen again, really, was he? God.
I was
right after costing that amount, I can just imagine what happened.
Wow.
Yeah. Look,
this thing is off 9 stone 5 or something, isn't he?
He's out the handicap, but which would normally scream absolutely crazy. He's not. He's going to be off 10 stone 2. And then Thomas Jornak takes off £3. He rode him to win the last day, so I wouldn't be worried about that. Look, he's wrong at the handicap. He should be off 9 stone 5. He's off of 10 stone 2. So what's that? £11 wrong at the handicap. However, as we saw the last day with Sweet David, I think, was £17 wrong at the handicap. I had to race off a mark of 140 and still absolutely bolted up. This lad is a way better horse than Sweet David. He's really taken to the cross-country race as well. He's won his last 2 starts. Based on his French mark, if you multiply his French mark by 2, he should be rated 140. Now, I don't know if they've taken a second look at him because he ran for a season in England and didn't run very well and said, okay, we'll drop that. It's quite random that they haven't just multiplied it by 2. He would have had to run off £7 higher. So it's a blessing, really. But I think he's an absolute steering job. David Cotton doesn't bring him over for no reason. The owner's representative has said in the Racing Post that this has been the plan since they went cross-country racing with him. He was a very good horse, and he just lost his way. He was grade 1 placed in his younger days. He's a very good animal. He lost his way. They've gone cross-country chasing with him. He's really, really taken to it. he bolted up the last day, as I said. He won very, very well. He's coming here off a mark that, from everyone that reads it, should be 140. It's actually 133. I just think he wins. I think 7-2 is a good price. He's one of these could get absolutely smashed up on Friday. I just don't see a way once he jumps around. I just don't see how he's beat.
Tom loves a French horse, and I love the fact he's in the cross country. Tom, I love a good cross country gamble. GSI, my sir, get stuck in and watch him ping around that place.
I seen a video of him the last day, and is it the last day of Tom or the day before where he just stops at a fence? No, I'm just picturing myself here now. Him just coming to the canal turn. Coming to the canal turn and saying, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Sean, do you know where it's going to happen now? It's when he jumps the cheese wedges and stops. He just stands there and looks at everything.
No. The one I always love is when they jump the cheese wedges and they come up without a jockey on them, and you're like, "What the fuck happened?"
Teleported to the finish. Oh, brilliant!
That's brilliant.
Oh, I love the cross country. It's making it more interesting now that Tom is absolutely having more this thing.
Right, mark my words, lads. I'm on the lookout for a horse for that for next year for all those cross country races.
I'm sure you have a lad that bet Sweet David, don't you? There.
Yeah, Zurich actually beats Sweet David in his winning po. So yeah.
Okay, why the hell is he making this chase debut today then? Why is he not gone to end the Bulger or somewhere? Stop ruining my dream, Tom.
that was a hurdle race around Po. I'm looking for a cross country horse for next season. I think it'd be really good fun.
See, everyone's coming around to cross country. Oh, for what it's worth, my two are King Turgeon, Nap, and Torn and Frey each way next best. That is in the Friday, 150 and 225. I haven't really got to look at Saturday's card properly yet. So, that is us done. Sorry?
I said there's some good horses out over the weekend, and the maidens and beginners chases keep going in Ireland. So no doubt we'll start seeing more festival contenders coming up now. Hopefully we will. So this is our last episode until our Christmas special Monday week. So we're not back on Wednesday. We'll be back on the 23rd, Monday the 23rd at 7 o'clock for our Christmas special. And who knows, the ball fella might be even here. But until then, he will be here. I can confirm he will be here. Until then, enjoy the rest of the racing. Enjoy the build up to Christmas. Hope it doesn't cost you a fortune. I might GSI to get some Christmas money like Tom does. And until the 23rd, we will see you then.